we are gonna move to our bookshelf. And this is easily in my top 3 favorite origamis. And I'll tell you why. First of all, there it is, I found it. I'll tell you why. First of all, this guy is slim and tall. Most of us have a place in our home where we can put this storage shelf.
Oh, absolutely.
This one is 24 inches in length. It is only 10.5 inches deep, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And it is taller than most of our other origami at 65 inches. So what we're doing is we are taking advantage of that space.
That's right. We're going vertical on this one.
We're going vertical, baby.
Yep. You're still getting your 12 linear feet of storage. It's just not as spread out. Well, you know, this is like a lot of pieces of origami that we actually created it because of customer demand. People asking, like, we want the strength, you know, we want all the capabilities, the ease of assembly, you know, setting this up, but we don't want to have as big. We need it for indoors, right? So we made this one a little bit more decorative friendly. Let's do the colors, and then I'll go through some of the features.
All right, you want to start down there?
Yeah, we can start down
there.
Let's put this guy
we have it available in the white.
Beautiful, beautiful, crisp, clean, white, classic color right there. Been very popular today. This is our black in this one, and it's a matte finish on that, which I think is really cool.
That would be beautiful, like in a living room, if you had like collectibles or pictures or things like that.
Very elegant looking, right? This one we're calling pewter, the one next to it. We're calling that pewter, but between you and me, I think it looks more like a gunmetal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we actually have a color
other
called
pieces
gunmetal.
called gunmetal. We do. So to me, it looks more like that. Next to that, over here,
look at they wrote.
Trying not to get in
they wrote gunmetal or pewter.
Or pewter.
So you can call it either one. Yes, it actually says that on the card.
Let's go with gunmetal. But when you order, it's going to ask for pewter. This is the vintage bronze, a perennial favorite. Love that with if you've got an interior with leather or woods in there, it's going to look amazing. Next to that is the forest green. Okay, forest green. If you ever wanted to set up an herb garden or a planter shelf or something like that outside, this would be absolutely amazing. I absolutely love that color.
It's one of my favorite colors. I love that.
Yeah, that's a great
Because we don't see it very often in origami.
We do not. Next one up is the rhubarb. Okay, it's you know, I might have actually called it a cranberry myself, but it's rhubarb. Okay, and then the very last one has been one of the most popular colors since we launched it, and that's the Riverside Blue, which I think is just amazing. In fact, I think that the today's special comes in that color.
It does,
and they will match back to each other.
Guys, these have 270 perfect 5-star reviews. All right, it's very highly rated. As I said, if I could pick 3 of my favorite origami, it would be one of the 2-tier shelves that I have in my laundry room because I love that size.
Yeah,
it would be the big heavy-duty racks, which are crazy cool, and then it's this one, and not necessarily in that order because I love it. If you've never ordered origami, Lou, this is a perfect way to get started.
Agreed. This is a great entry-level piece.
Let's hit how easy it is to get when you get it.
Well, because you know it's origami. So you know there's not going to be an assembly involved with this. You know that all you're going to do is just do a little flipping and folding here to get this opened up. And right here, we're just looking at how great it looks in different parts of the house. Because I always call origami the chameleon, or this particular piece, the chameleon of the origami well, because depending on how you decorate it, that's the personality it's going to take on. But so this is what it looks like set up. Now watch this. I can break this down, let's say for storage purposes, for moving purposes, anything like that, with just a little flip of the wrist and a kick of the foot, boom, just like that, it is broke down. And that right there is about 3 to 4 inches, okay? So we're not talking about a lot of space. You don't need a lot of room to store this. Look at that. And this is another piece that you can put in a closet under the bed behind a door when you're not using it. But this is so beautiful, I really think you're gonna leave it out all the time. When it comes to your house, it's gonna be flat packed in a box, don't panic, because that's what everybody does, all right? All you gotta do, like all origami, grab the sides. Open it up like this. Gravity's gonna do most of the work. It's gonna fall open. On the back of it, there's that origami toggle again that we've been seeing all day long. Patented design. You thread that through like that. You pull down like that. It locks it into place. Now, just like I've been doing with all the pieces, I can pick this up and I can move this around because this is already good to go, just like that. Then we flip over the top shelf, which is only hinged on one side so that it can fold. We put that over. One more latch right here. Give that a little flip like that.
And you're done.
And you're done, that's it.
And again, I can't tell you, for books, for photos, for artwork.
Oh my gosh.
Kitschy stuff, for collectibles, pictures of your children, or your grandchildren, you can utilize it for that. It's got, now they are aerated on the shelves.
They are.
These are a little bit different than the other shelves.
It is, and that's a great point, because we knew that people are going to be using these to put smaller things on them, and if we use the wire shelves like we use on most origami, they were going to fall through.
Yeah.
Okay, so for display purposes, we said, let's give them a solid shelf. Then we thought about it and said, wait a minute, we need airflow, we need water flow, because, you know, there's still going to be people out there that are going to use it outdoors for planting or something like that. So that's where the perforations came in here. Then the other consideration we made was kind of like, it's structural, it's functional, and it's also for decor, and that's these guys right here, the lattice work, okay?
Yeah.
They are structural because they're welded to the frame,
right.
so that's going to add a little bit of rigidity to it. They are decorator friendly, so that means when you put this in your house, it looks like a nice piece of furniture. It doesn't look like something that's horribly industrial. And then it stops books from falling off, and that's the functionality part of it. I mean, they really thought this one through. Now, there's one more feature, guy, that we got to talk about. And that's down there, and that's the leveling feet that are on these. Okay.
Because I don't know of another origami that has this.
No, that's the only one.
Yeah.
And no wheels on this. And there's a good thought behind this, because being a bookshelf, we don't think people are going to be rolling it around, right? So we want to make sure that when it's sitting there, that is going to be nice and level. So notice if I move this counterclockwise, okay, it's actually retracting into the frame.
Right.
If I go clockwise, you're going to see that it's coming down. You can see how that screw is starting to come out right there, all right? Now, why do we do that? Because sometimes if your floor is not level and you've got pieces of crystal on here, you don't want it wobbling back and forth. Like right now, I've got it horribly off balance, but I'll just extend the one on the back and we're done. It's level, okay? Here's the implication of using those feet, though. If you have the feet on it, we recommend that you limit yourself to 50 pounds per shelf, because we don't want it to get tippy.
You're never going to put more than that on.
But that's 300 pounds, guys.
Yeah, I know.
That's 300 pounds. Now, without the feet on it, you can go up to 70 pounds, because if your floor is perfectly level, you don't need them. You can go to 70 pounds per shelf for a grand total of 420 pounds. That is massive.
This is my favorite Try Me out of all the different ones that we have. I know, I love that. The decorative one that we had, that had the bright colors, I love that. But that's not one I'm going to put in my living room or my dining room.
No, this guy right here.
And listen, if you need to store plates or your fancy
you can
silverware.
Use it for anything you want.
Or if you want to put your games on there, right?
Kitchen electrics on here. Like I mentioned earlier, for planting, for an herb garden. If you live in a condo and you've got a beautiful balcony, you know, and you've always thought, man, I wish I could have some foliage out here. This has got enough room that it's not going to look sad like just two shelves with a couple of plants on it. This is like a whole garden that you could have on this. And because it's powder coated steel, like all origami, it's not going to corrode, and you can use it indoors and outdoors. So that means, you know, go ahead, put that herb garden on there, water it right on this. The water is going to drain through here. If you look at the white one that's down on the end here, that's what I was talking about earlier, about how it takes on the personality of however you decorate it, okay? So when you look at this and you see the family right there and you see the photos and all that, all that wood, all that, the baskets, it warms it up.
I think, like I said, when I think of this particular rack, this is what I think of it. I think like putting stuff that, you know, that's meaning for you, right?
Right.
So if it's in your living room, or it could be if you have a separate dining room. Like I said, you could put stuff that's for the dining room. So it could be serving pieces, things like that.
Right.
If it's in your kitchen, you could put appliances. You could put your blenders, your mixers, all that stuff in there. You could put your extra silverware. All that can be here, and you have easy access. Because remember, we're only about 10.5 inches from the wall.
Exactly.
So we're taking advantage of that. Of this, the linear space.
That and this.
And the height.
Well, because a lot of our racks have fewer shelves, but they're wider. This has more shelves, but it's taller. So you're still getting, believe it or not, just like our largest rack, you're still getting 12 linear feet of storage with this, because you got the 6 shelves that are 2 feet across each.
But
so
it's as tall as we are.
It actually is, and which is crazy to me. You know, but you know what? I like that. I don't want to see a shelf that's like that's not substantial. You know what I mean?
Right.
By the way, so one of the things I love most about origami, of course, is the ease of setup, right? I had the misfortune recently of having to build 4 or 5 pieces of furniture that is just stuff that origami doesn't make.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it was from one of those companies that gives you diagrams that have no words. It's just stick figures. You know what I'm talking about? So,
and a bunch of bags of nuts and bolts.
I got halfway through 2 different pieces and realized I had one of the key components on backwards.
And you had to take it all apart.
I had to take it. I figured out a way to do it where I just had to take that one piece off, but it added like an extra hour to what I was doing. With origami, watch this, because there's no way that you can mess this up.
I bought a smoker.
Yeah.
And it came, the actual smoker box came in 4 pieces. But I had all these structural things that had to go in. I did the same thing. I had to go backwards.
Yeah.
Take everything apart.
And it just makes you so mad when
you got to
do
realize this comes in a nice big box,
yes,
flat
it does.
packed.
Well packed.
All you do is pull it out of the box.
Yep.
Open it up, spin on the feet.
Yeah.
And you are done.
You're done. That's it. I mean, like, you are basically sitting there putting books or your kitchen electrics or whatever it is you want to put on it within minutes of opening that box. That's the crazy thing. That's why I always tell people origami is like the instant gratification of the furniture world. As soon as you get it, you open that box, you're just sitting there enjoying it, okay? It's not like a half a day project. I'm going to tell you something, too. One of the things I discovered is that either I'm getting arthritis in my wrists or I'm just not as strong as I used to be. I'm sitting there screwing these things in the furniture, and at the end of the night, my hands and my wrists are just throbbing from it. With origami, that's never happened to me.
Well, and if you're a senior out there and you're in your 70s or your 80s and you want to have this storage, the nice thing is, like we said, the hardest thing you're going to do, well, I'd say 60s, but 50s, but I don't want to bother us. But whatever age you are, it's never fun.
No.
Like, I don't enjoy getting a workout from putting together furniture.
Yeah.
I'd rather work out.
Yeah, I'd rather go to the gym.
I don't need to do this. You and I are the ones that talk about that all the time. It's like, listen, I got enough things on my list from a hurricane than to have to start
so many
building
things
furniture.
from the hurricane.
So what's wonderful about origami, that's all you do.
Look at that.
You take it out of the box, you lock it into place.
That's it.
And you have beautiful storage.
Close
and
open.
Again, as I said with Rebecca, the stainless is really, it's so in to mix and match with your wood pieces. So if you wanted to put this in a living area, like if you have a wooden dining table, it's totally cool to put in a metal rack in there.
And this is the vintage bronze, which really does I have a hard time sometimes telling it apart from some of the wood because the colors just blend. I mean, you got to really look at it to see. And you're going to be surprised when people see origami furniture. They're not going to know that it's something that came flat packed in a box. They're going to have no idea when they see it. And and it looks completely different than particle board. It looks much more substantial. And you know why? Because it is. And it's oddly enough almost the same price, which is crazy to me.
Like, let me just say this. If I had $100 to spend on origami, this is what I would buy.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
And
like you said, this is the intro piece right here. You know, if you're looking for like dipping your toes in the origami water, this guy right here, you cannot go wrong with this.
Let's go through colors one more time because we're running out of time. So all the way in the end.
Okay, we got the beautiful crisp clean
and look
white.
at how nicely we decked that out, or our crew did. Beautiful.
Yeah, doesn't it look great? So we got the beautiful white all the way down here. And then next to that, we've got the beautiful black. The black is a matte finish on this one, which I'm a huge fan of. I
like that
wish
too.
we had more that were in a matte. Then we've got the gunmetal / pewter next to that. All right, and then we have me. There you are. And then we got the vintage bronze over here. Take a look at that guy.
And then we have the what I would call a holiday green.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. That's the forest green right there if you're ordering. Then we've got the rhubarb next to that one. And then the very last one, the Riverside Blue, which people are going crazy
If you're going to
over.
put this in a bedroom, I love that Riverside view. Or if you're going to do that for your linens, that would be really nice as well.
Very calming.
That's a great. Yes, it is very calming.
Yeah.
All right, it's a customer pick like every other piece we've been showing you.
That's right.
Item number is 746806. We dropped the price from $139, so you save $30. Shipping is only $9.95. You'll get it home. You get till the end of January. I know you will fall in love with this particular piece because it is the classic origami try me piece.
Right.
All right, Lou.
Yes, sir.
When are you coming back? Next hour?
Next hour with the stackable racks.
Oh, I love those too.
And it's a set of 4 this time.
Set of 4.
Set of 4.
That you can have 4 individual.
Configure any way you want.
Or you can configure them any way you want.
2, 3, 4, 1 in each room, whatever you want.
All right, so we got that coming up when we come back. Hey, I wanted to mention really quick while Lou takes a little break here.